The multi-hyphenate, the this, the that, the everything, the beautiful Tyra Banks is here now, guys. Come on down. I think this is you on that side.
What's up, everybody? Hi.
They've been waiting for you since 8 o'clock this morning. They've been here all day. They are troopers.
Oh, wow.
They've been doing lots of panels and hearing from a lot of people, but
Nice.
you're the grand finale, Tyra.
Thank you so much.
Doesn't she look good? You
got some new hair.
Yeah, explain the hair.
I've got goddess locks.
Ooh.
Yeah, I sat down for about 8 hours to 10 hours for these things.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
And how long will they last?
They will last as long as you want them to, pretty much. No, probably 4 months.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah,
that's worth a
pretty
good
long.
8 to 10 hours.
Yeah.
Well, we're so excited to have you here today. As all of our beautiful audiences have been learning, today is so much about being inspired and learning and getting informed, and it's everything digital and fashion and beauty, and it's so many people here in our audience, they're aspiring to do their next thing. So hearing from you is such a treat, honestly. And before, I'm going to get into some questions, and we're going to talk, career stuff and Tyra beauty stuff, and then they're going to ask some questions here at the end as well. But I have to do one self-serving story real quick.
Okay, serve it up.
Because I was back in Indiana where I'm from, and I don't want to date myself, but some 20 years ago, and I was in college, and this one, do you guys remember when Tyra was on the cover of Sports Illustrated swimsuit issue in that red and pink bikini? You, no joke, were on my refrigerator, that cover with all my magnets. Don't go into the refrigerator, because I was like, you were my body inspiration.
That is so funny because I was eating burgers back then.
Don't rub it in.
Yeah.
5'10". Don't rub it in.
But right now I couldn't do that and look like that.
No, but it's just, this whole day is kind of celebrating dream the biggest dream. And at the time, I was this young girl, and I wanted to study journalism, and I was like trying to get an internship, and you were on my refrigerator, and now look, here we are. That's kind of awesome for me. So this is a real privilege. It's very, very cool. So let's go back a little bit because, as I said, so many of the people here are like just beginning their journey. Mm-hmm. So your story, a lot of people know it. In school, you were, a bit bullied, and you weren't known as being this gorgeous goddess. And then fast forward, and you're at like Paris Fashion Week, and you're like in 21 shows, your first ever
25.
25.
Get it right, girl.
25 shows,
right? Bloggers, fact check it, get it right.
Oh, shoot you. Well, I could be on my notes, but that's lame too. So I was trying to go from memory. But how did that jump happen? Because sometimes it's just getting started, right?
So, of course, there's always luck and timing involved. But I like to think that a lot of me booking 25 fashion shows, my very first time, doing Paris Fashion Week, was about studying. So I got accepted to 5 or 6 colleges. Every college that I applied to, I got accepted. I was going to study film and television production, producing. Hello, understand why I did that later. And I got discovered in my Los Angeles modeling agency. A French agent came in and said, Tyra is the only model that I want to bring back to Paris. And my mama was like, all right, if you want to do this, this is your decision, and you have to decide, are you going to do this? And I was like, ooh, mama, but college starts in 2 weeks. And she's like, well, if you want to go to Paris, you need to study for Paris like you studied for those SATs. So I was like, what does that mean? And she's like, figure it out. And so I looked in the yellow pages. Do you guys know what those are? Can you please whisper to the person that doesn't know what a yellow page is?
It's an app now. It's an app.
It's an app, yes. And I have that app on my phone, by the way. But yeah, I went through the yellow pages and found that there was a Los Angeles fashion library. And went to that library on the bus, the RTD bus, back in the day it was called, Rapid Transit District LA, holla. So I got on the bus and went to the librarian, and I'm like, my mama says that I need to study Paris fashion, whatever the heck that is, and then I got to go to Paris in 2 weeks, and if I can't prove to her that I know Paris fashion, I'm not going to Paris. And she's like, sit right here. So she taught me to read magazines, not like this, but like this, because back in the day, credit for a photographer, hair, makeup, stylist was in the gatefold, written really little. And she's like, learn all these photographers. Then I was like, okay, she would test me, and she would show me a picture. I'd be like, Stephen Mizell. She's like, yeah. She showed me a picture. I'd be like, Patrick DeMarcialia. Yeah, kind of, yeah. So, like, she tested me like that. So then I had that down. Then she started showing me videos of all, like Oscar de la Renta showed in Paris, Karl Lagerfeld, Chanel, Yves Saint Laurent, all of these designers. She showed me their tapes, and I would study. I was like, ooh, Yves Saint Laurent. Those models have a chignon, which the beauty girls know is a bun pulled tight where your brains look like you've pulled out like J-Lo. They had chignons and red lipstick. And then Karl Lagerfeld for Chanel wanted you to walk like this and twirl your pearls and kind of wink. And so I studied all of the different designers. So when I went to Paris and I had a go-see for Yves Saint Laurent, I slicked that hair back, threw on some red lipstick in that lobby of that French, house of Yves Saint Laurent, walked for the man and booked the show. Every single designer, I changed my walk and my look, and that's how I did it. And I have to say, there's never been a girl that has booked 25 fashion shows, that didn't have any social media presence or anything, her very first time in Paris. And it was really that studying that I really think, and of course, my look being of that moment.
We need to thank Mama for the studying.
Thank you, Mama.
I mean, right? No, but to your credit, I mean, that's such a good point because people think model and they think pretty, and we now know it is obviously such a respected industry, but what goes into it beyond the walk and the look, and of course, the world has come to know that through your television show in which you show that all the time. That's amazing. So at that time in your life, when you're just trying to get to Paris and you're stuck between school and modeling and whatnot, was the biggest dream you could ever dream where you are today, or did you even know at that point?
I gave myself 12 months or 1 year to be able to do what we call direct bookings. I said, if I have to go on a go-see or an audition to get a job in 12 months as a model, I'm going to school because I want to be a TV producer, writer, director. And so that was my goal, 12 months, no go-sees. Yeah.
So then how many years after that, cue America's Next Top Model?
Let's see. I started.
You did a lot of
I went to
acting
Paris
between
at
the two.
17, right when I graduated from school, and then I started America's Next Top Model. I think when I was 27, so 10 years. Yeah.
So America's Next Top Model, I know, was your concept. You conceived it. It was like your baby at the time. And so many of the people here in the audience, this is a creative, entrepreneurial audience that, they've got ideas. They're dreaming their dreams. They know it's a very saturated business, and there's bloggers, and everything's digital, and how do I differentiate myself, and how do I make myself stand out, and what are all the how-tos? Yep. So at that time, because obviously somebody's doing it really well, how did you know? Or obviously you weren't afraid because you're like, guess what, I'm going to do this, and then you did it. So what informed you at that time in your life to get that off the ground?
To get that off the ground. So being that I wanted to be a TV producer since I was 9 years old, I always had ideas. And I had this agent. When you're a model and you're like a supermodel back in the day, you needed to have an acting agent because you were then going to turn into a famous actress, which happened for none of us. But so I had an acting agent, and I would pitch him ideas and say, almost said his name, child. I have this idea. What do you think about this idea for this new TV show? And he would say like, oh, that's a stupid idea. And I told him 2 ideas that he said was stupid. The third time, I was like, I have this idea about models, and I think, that new show, what is it called? American Idol. That new show, that did really well, and they showed singers singing, but you didn't know what they were doing when they went home. So then the big show, the show called Real World on MTV, you see what they're doing when they go home. What if I combine that, judging a performance part of American Idol with seeing how they live at home with the real world, and set it in the modeling industry? And he was like, that is a dumb idea. Models are unsympathetic characters and vapid, and no one wants to see that. And this was the 3rd time he said my idea was dumb. So I went to go complain to my best friend, Kenya Barris. I don't know if that rings a bell for anybody. Kenya is now the creator of Blackish and the showrunner of Blackish, and we've known each other since we were 6 years old, and he was a young writer at the time. And I was like, Kenya, I'm tired of this agent saying all my ideas are dumb. He goes, well, what's the idea? And he was like, that's poppin'. And so he took me to his agent. My agent didn't even know. And his agent connected me to this guy, Ken Mock, that was like the new godfather of reality producing. I had drinks with Ken Mock. Ken Mock said, that's a great idea. A couple of days later, we were pitching to networks, and 3 or 4 were interested but didn't have a good budget. CBS liked it but said, there's this new little channel we have called UPN, and we think we want to put it there. And they said, pretty much said yes. Right when I got out of the car, my cell phone rang, and they wanted to do it. My agent still did not know that I was pitching. But that fool got commissions on Top Model for 2 years. And then I left his ass and renegotiated my contract, so he didn't get commissions after that. And I have a new great agent, Nancy Josephson. But yeah, he made money off of something he said was stupid.
Okay. But here's the lesson. Do you heard the lesson in that, right? When you hear the no's.
Yeah, when you hear the no's. And the no's tend to empower me, but I think I was doubting myself. And so those first 2 shows that I don't remember what they were have never seen the light of day, at least not for me, because I listened to his no's. Thank God I didn't continue to listen to them.
And after all these years and that show being in homes across the world, what has been your biggest takeaway from that whole experience?
My biggest takeaway is there's so much. I think one of them is delegation, guys. Like a lot of you guys are individual entrepreneurs and bloggers and influentials or aspiring to be in this blogger universe and this fashion beauty universe. But as you grow, especially if you're doing well, it's important to find people to help you along the way. And then for you to be able to start delegating and saying, okay, oh my gosh, I can't write every article anymore. So you're gonna write articles about lipstick. You're gonna write articles about shoes. You're gonna do this, and I'm gonna cut you in, girl, on a little bit of the money that I'm making for you to do that. And you have to realize that sometimes you have to give up and share in order to grow. And that's something that I've learned with Top Model, of empowering people. I used to, I still do look at every single photo and decide what best picture is, but I used to do every little tiny thing. What is that girl wearing? Just every little tiny thing. And I realized my team wasn't working as hard because they'd be like, she's just gonna change it anyway. She's just going to come in and do something different to it anyway. And I realized the more I empowered them, then the better they got. And then I would see some things later and, looking at film of Top Model of the girl what she shot or the guy, be like, wow, that outfit was really good. And to see them beam and be so happy because they did that on their own was huge. So that's a big learning thing that I got.
Part of what has contributed to your success, I think, is too that you continue to evolve. You're many, many things. You are not one thing by any stretch. And so, again, with our audience today and this new digital stratosphere in which we're all trying to navigate, why do you think it is so important to continue to learn the audience, stay with the tech, the Snapchat? There's just so much to be distracted by, and how do you know, where to put your energy?
I always say, guys, if you feel that there is a new platform that's coming up, get on it as early as possible. As early as possible. If there's the next thing coming up is the Slapchat, and you hear a couple of 13-year-olds talking about it, just sign up and just once a week drop something on it, just so that you have that early, adoption of it, and your followers' numbers are going to be higher. The earlier you get in, the higher your numbers are.
And the latest offering from Ms. Tyra. By the way, how many times were you Time is Most Influential?
2.
Jeez, more than once?
Yeah, 2. Yeah.
That is so amazing.
Thank
Sorry,
you.
I didn't want to throw that in there. See, I did a little studying, Tyra.
Those are those kind of things that you can use forever. Like, I won an Academy Award. It might have been in 1967, but I won an Academy Award. So that time thing is one of those things that forever you can hold, which is great.
You continue to influence, and now today you have given birth to Tyra Beauty.
Yes.
Again, there's so much to choose from. People can get lipstick from anywhere these days. So you have to decide what is Tyra's offering and how is it different, why is it unique. So tell everybody, since it is brand new, what this new venture is about.
Yeah, so Tyra Beauty is my cosmetics company, but I like to say it's not a cosmetics line, it's a cosmetics experience. We are a social selling company, which means that you can sell Tyra Beauty and you can make money. Like I was telling you before, the beginning of my career used to be all about what I could get. How many magazine covers can I get? How many runways can I get? How many campaigns can I get? You know, all this me, 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 me. And then there's a lot of things, and I'll just be quick because I know we don't have a lot of time, but then I started feeling that I had a calling to not keep doing this, but to do this. So with America's Next Top Model, I could have done some type of reality show and follow my life. But no, I decided to have me in the show 10%, but really have it to be about giving opportunity. And then my mom, when I was very young, my mom was married to my dad. My dad was a great dad, but not the best husband. And she stayed with him too long, a lot of it having to do with financial. He had the money, she didn't have the money, so she stayed. So with me knowing that that's my drive and why I push so hard is I never want to have to feel like I have to succumb to a man to support me. I think that pushes me a lot, my independence, my love of makeup and transformation, and knowing that I don't wake up looking like a supermodel. If you want, you can Google Tyra Banks no makeup selfie right now, and that's what I look like with no hair weave and a washed face. And I know that I would have never had that career. Feeling that natural beauty is unfair. I feel like as women, we are constantly saying, oh, she's natural beauty. She doesn't need any makeup, and her hair is just so gorgeous and perfect. And we put that on a pedestal, but that's just genetics. She did nothing to get that except for some reason, her either gorgeous and gorgeous parent or a gorgeous and crazy looking parent or crazy looking and crazy looking parent combined and created this thing that is naturally beautiful. However, we all deserve that. But it shouldn't take forever. So I wanted to give really cool, innovative products that you can do in 5 minutes and transform your face. I wanted to empower women to say that we already share makeup. We already say, oh my gosh, you should totally get this. But what about, oh my gosh, you should totally get this. And I can get 25 to 40% of the sale of that if you do. So that's what Tyra Beauty is, and I'm taking this social selling thing that has been around for hundreds of years, but making it cool and hip. And we have a theme song called Bootyful. You know, we have colors like lipsticks called Ask for a Raise, or Do You Girl, or Show Some Cleavage, or Smack That Fat Lash Mascara, where we are, you know, having fun. And I used to look at my demographic. You guys all have demographics or want demographics of certain people that you really want to reach. Well, I had what I call a demo dilemma, because I had these 12-year-olds all the way up to their grandmamas. And it's like, who the hell am I supposed to focus on when I have such a broad range? And I took an executive education course over a couple of years at Harvard, and my marketing professor did a marketing study on me. And he looked at the demo dilemma and he said, Tyra, he talks like this, Tyra, it is not a demo dilemma, it is a demo delight. And you should not get rid of any of those audiences. You need to figure out how to reach all of them. So Tyra Beauty products do not fall into fine lines and wrinkles, are easily blendable, and have names like not kiss my fat ass, smack my fat lash. Yes.
And by the way, I love that, because just because my mom might be 65 doesn't mean she can't appreciate a little sass in her makeup bag. Okay?
And exactly, it gives that, like, I see like my older customers that are loving and giggling about the names. We have a new lipstick that is actually our highest selling lipstick from the Smoocha Silk line of lipstick called Retire Your Husband. Because a lot of our sellers, they're called beauty-tainers, they want to retire their husband, and a few of them already have. Can you imagine that? Like, baby, can you go get the baby a bottle while I go handle this sale? Wouldn't that be great? So, yeah, that's a lot. And then the husbands have actually have a crew now of the ones that are either retired or trying to retire. What is it called? Retired husbands, a tie hot, or something. I don't know. They have a name. Anyway.
What are the hashtags and social associated with Tyra Beauty so that
Tyra
everybody
Beauty.
here can
Really,
start blowing it
we
up?
want to keep it simple. We're a startup. We are about to have our 1-year anniversary, so it's really hashtag Tyra Beauty. We tend to cap Tyra and the B, and the beauty is small.
All of the thought and the preparation and the science that goes into a business, which so many of you are starting, I know you have a team. And so many people are starting to grow their business and hiring employees and whatnot. How critical is your team, and what are the key things that you think we should surround ourselves with?
I say, don't be scared to do things that you never have. I have no idea about direct selling or social selling. I know makeup, but I don't know makeup formulation and how to mix it and match it and do all of that. I know about transformation, not formulation. You know, I know about being an entrepreneur, but not starting and running a social selling company. So I went on a search to find really strong people that could do this, and I have empowered them to run this business. The day-to-day of this business, I have empowered them to do that. I am their CEO, and I lead the strategy and kind of the beacon and the vision for where we're going. But every single day, my team is executing. And some of them are doing things that I don't know what the hell it is. And I'm like, I can't believe I've come to this place where it's like, okay, that's the ROI, the STO, and the PTO. Yeah, girl, yeah, that's just good stuff. But I realize, you know, what my strengths are. My strengths for my company, and I've really focused on this during my maternity leave. One of my strength is vision and beacon. The second is mass media and getting Tyra Beauty known across this globe. The third is grassroots and traveling to my beauty-tainers across the country, and as we go international across the globe, and having sessions with them like this to encourage them how to use and how to sell this product and how to maximize their sales and their income so they can reach their BFOGs, which we call big, fierce, outrageous goals. The next is product development. Like even though I'm not an expertise inside of a manufacturing plant, I know what I want it to feel like. I know the payoff that I want. I know that I want it simple. I know I want my componentry to be navigatable so that you know what side to use just by looking at it. I also know that, you know, I need to watch the bottom dollar. Tyra Beauty is 100% self-funded by me. So I want to watch the bottom dollar. However, I can't spend 80% of my time doing that because that takes me away from being the beacon and the visionary. Right now, I'm spending 80% of my time watching that bottom line. That's not a good use of my time. So I have to find strong, you know, finance people and operations people to really handle that, and I check in from a higher level. I also want to focus on the company culture of my business. So when I get off of maternity leave, I'm digging deep. How is my team feeling? What are we doing? How can we make them happier to come to work? How can we improve their morale? Because when you're a startup, your team is tired. They are tired because they're all working toward this goal to reach a certain place. But you reach this thing where I'm like burnt. I'm just so burnt. So I'm going to come in and really, really hone that and harness that with our head of HR. So those are my focus of what the company is. And it took me to be on maternity leave to figure that out. I think I'm leaving one out, but that's the core.
That's a lot. I hope someone's recording this so I can play it back later. Taking notes? Good. Thank you. What would your team say about you? What would they say is the Tyra they know?
What would they say? They would say, wow, you guys think she's really glamorous, but sometimes she comes into the office and she has on the same thing as yesterday, and she thinks we don't notice. I think they would say that I'm a fair boss, that I listen to everyone's ideas, and at the end, make the decision of what we're going to do, but am very influenced by them, and that my mind can also change based on what they say. And my goal is to be right with my team about 30% of the time, but to take their ideas 70% of the time. So that's my goal. So hopefully I'm reaching that with my team. And then on the feedback criticism, I think they would say I can be a better manager. I can give them better feedback. I'm not very good at that, to give them better feedback. What else would they say? Yeah.
we could sit here, and again, I could go through your entire resume, and it's success after success after success, and you've just done so much. But we all fail, and that's part of the journey for all of us. Was there ever a time along the way until this point where you were on the floor, and you were just like, okay, gonna call it a day, this is it, gonna give in, throw the towel in, whatever. What was that for you, and how did you come out of it?
Many times. I remember, I don't know how old I was, maybe, I think it was about 4 years. I was with Victoria's Secret for 10 years. And probably about year 6, I would cry myself to sleep every night because my contract was coming up for renewal. Were they going to renew it or not? But I didn't know what I was going to do next. And I always want to be ahead and know what I'm going to do next because nothing is ever constant. And so I always try to plan for the end at the beginning, and I didn't have a plan. There was no top model, there was nothing, and I cried myself to sleep for weeks and weeks and weeks until one day I was in my underwear making some tea, looking out the window and said, that American Idol show and that Real World show, put some models in it. Yeah.
Wow, that is so cool, so cool. You're also a mother, by the way, throw that into the mix. And, you know, it's so interesting because I watch you and we all know you from afar. We don't know you, and you're so strong and so fierce and you're so clear on just being so driven and ambitious and smart and all of these beautiful things. And it's funny to hear you talk about, you know, how your father maybe didn't make the money and how you've been driven by, you know, needing to pay your own bills.
Driven by fear. Yeah, I'm driven by fear. I'm totally very clear with that.
You know what I think is interesting is when it comes to a relationship, it can be so off-putting for the man. Sometimes it backfires against us. Hello, we're strong. We can pay our own bills. So by the way, we don't need you. So has that been almost a struggle for you, or when in your relationship? I know you're happy now, but along the way, that can almost be another roadblock.
It has. I remember many years ago, I went on a date with a guy, and he's an actor. I'm not going to say his name, and the world didn't know I went on a date with him. And I thought it was the most magnificent date in the world. We went to dinner at one place, and then we went to another place and ate blackberry cobbler from the same bowl. And he was looking at me, and I was looking at him, and I was like, oh my God, this is amazing. He walked me to my door. I didn't let him in my house, and I had to get on a plane the next day to fly out of Europe or do some modeling job. And I was like, oh my gosh, we're so compatible. I like him so much. And he never called me again. Then I called him, stupid. I called him and did this stupid accent thing, like trying to pretend like I was funny. Like, Tyra wants to know, I haven't called her. Don't understand it. How could you not call back? You know, and he was like laughing and stuff. I was like, how can I do this and not look desperate? And then he ended up telling me, in some certain words, I was too put together, too driven, too on it, and he actually confessed that he dated a modeling colleague of mine back in the day that struggled with drug addiction and just general responsibility, and she was on top and she went way down. And he said there's something in him that is more attracted to that than what I am. Woo, child. That was like crazy hard. And the sad thing, I was like, well, maybe I am too driven. Maybe I shouldn't try as hard. Everybody wants this guy, and then I just woke up and said, child, he's a hot mess. Yeah. Yes. Good. But now I was single years ago. I was single and dating guys that were very fine with it. You know, I think they find us and we find them. And the ones that do have I did go on a one date with this one guy. He was so cute. This was like 4 years ago. He was so cute and so like together and stuff. And we're sitting on my couch in New York, and he's like, I just Googled your net worth. I'm not comfortable with that.
Oh my God, shut up.
I'm like, well, first of all, it could be a lot less or a lot more. But why the hell would you have a problem with that? I said, you make 5 times that. But he couldn't get over it.
Ooh, this is amazing. Do we know him?
No, he's not famous. He's just rich.
Okay. Okay. But you know what we do know, and again, from where we're sitting, it looks like you have it all, like entrepreneur, and now this baby boy, York, how old is he now?
York's a couple of months old.
Couple months old. So yes, clap, clap. Motherhood deserves a clap. So, as most mothers know, especially the first, your entire world is shook upside down and inside out, and you don't know if you're coming or going, and you look in the mirror and you're like, where did Tyra go, you know?
Yeah, I was weird looking in the mirror today. I was like, wow, oh, this is what I look like when I have on that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was weird to do all this today.
So what's been the most surprising thing or unexpected thing now that you're a mama?
Unexpected. A lot of instinct. A lot of instinct about what to do. Because at first I was like, oh my God, he's lifting his head. What do I do? Oh my God, he just vomited and it landed on that wall over there. What do I do? You know, and just realizing now it's just instinctual. Now I'm doing you guys know what the football hold is? Any moms? Right? Just the football hold. You open the fridge, you get the bottle out, you put it in the warmer or on the, with the boiled water. Test it on the hand. Now I feel like, Terminator, mama. I feel really good, but that's this stage. And then he's going to get into some other stages. I was just talking to my makeup artist today, and the twos with the hell no, mama, I don't want to, I'm not listening to you. So I have a while to go for that.
Is there a part of you that feels more complete with your family now?
I do. So I have insomnia. I think it's pretty severe. It's just a part. What is it? Oh, child, I got scared. I thought there were pictures of York out there. I'm like, we don't do that. We're private. I got scared.
We got the picture. Bring in the picture of York, please. We need a real photo now.
But I have serious sleep issues, and as you guys get deeper into your careers, if not now, that is one of the things that will go away with entrepreneurship is sleep, because business messes up. It's not like you can just go get another job. That's your name, that's your personal money or somebody else's money. There's so much responsibility. However, and I can go to sleep, I just can't stay asleep. But the minute he was born, I sleep all night. And I don't know what the heck that is, but I sleep all night.
That's cool. That's like a groundedness maybe, or just
There's
a completeness.
something,
And
yeah.
it's just like, all will be well in the world.
Yeah,
all
will be well.
It'll work itself out.
Yeah.
Okay, well, I want to
Except
say...
when he's crying. Come on now, child. That's it. But I'm not waking up thinking about, oh my gosh, that return on investment. Oh my gosh, this team member's unhappy. Oh my gosh, I wake up because he's hungry. So that's great.
It can change your perspective just on things. Okay, well, we want your questions because I certainly don't want time to run out with hearing from you guys. How much time do we have? Let me just check right here. Woo! 9 minutes. So who's got them? I'll come around with my microphone like who did this back in the day when they used to
Oprah,
work?
Ricky Lake, Geraldo.
Okay.
Hi, I'm Marissa. I actually interned on America's Next Top Model season 19.
Oh, cool.
Which was super fun. But my question is, you said that you're fueled by hearing no, and you are fueled by fear. I was wondering if you had any other advice to all of us to push past the rejection, push past, the fear and like all that stuff, to just keep going and going after things that you want.
I say you need a couple of people in your life. You need that person that loves you unconditionally and will just say, go, go, go. And then you need that frenemy that is going to tell you the truth, but I don't mean the person that loves you and is going to tell you the truth. You need that too. I feel like there's 3 categories. The go, 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 no matter what. Oh my gosh, your blog says QL7055505. It's perfect. I totally understand it. You need that person. Then you need the person that loves you unconditionally and will tell you the truth. And then you need that frenemy that will tell you the ugly truth. Because even if it's laced with their jealousy, because we live in a world that has such nasty opinion and such access to nasty opinions. And so when you have that spread, it allows you to really navigate everything and to see. And so I would categorize my agent as that frenemy. He was my agent. He was there to give me work, but he said models are vapid and unsympathetic. So I put that in my pitch to the networks and took that out of their head immediately by saying, this is what the world thinks, but this is what I'm going to show. So there was some power there as much as it hurt me. Yeah. Okay.
Hi, my name is Adara, and I have a question. Basically, I'm trying to do makeup, but also build like my own like personal brand of being a makeup artist and doing my own makeup. But I find it hard sometimes when it comes to having other brands notice me, or you see a lot of girls get reposted, or a lot of people get noticed, but they're usually like lighter skinned or might have like more followers, and I don't have that many followers, and I'm also not really the typical look they go for. So what would you, I find it discouraging a lot, and it kind of just was like, I don't know if I should keep it
Well,
up.
sometimes you need a boost, and sometimes you need somebody there to like give you that boost.
Yeah.
So today I'm going to repost you on my Instagram. How about that? So that's your start. So I am the benefactor that is doing this, not the mentor. Just gonna boom and give you a boost, and it's up to you to turn those followers, those new followers, into believers, into evangelists. Okay?
Oh, thank
So Ricky,
you.
can you get her information and stuff, and we'll repost our favorite picture.
I said we might go to church. I feel like we are at church. That's amazing. Who's next? Can I get an amen? Just kidding. I'm gonna run in my little see-through dress all the way over here.
I just want to start off by saying that, like, I grew up modeling, and my mom only has, like, one idol, and it's you. And she was like, she, like, embodies confidence and just, like, what girls should be, like, in the modeling industry. And you just gave us, like, so much security and stuff growing up. And, like, and I have curves, too, so I love you. And I was just wondering, like, being in, like, Victoria's Secret and so many, like, high profile like places like that you're modeling for and companies, like how do you keep that like amazing confidence that you like always embody, and like how do you push past stuff?
Well, I would love to say I just have that inherently in me, and any negativity, I just stand up from the power inside of me. But that's bullshit. I had a mom, and my mom was there when the going got great, and she was there when it got tough. And she was that person where I said in the middle, the person that loves you unconditionally, but is going to tell you the truth. She was there for me. So she was there for me when I went from a size 4 to a size 6 to pushing a little bit, like between 6, 8, and but just here and here, 6, 8. And my Italian agency sent my mom a list of designers that didn't want to use me anymore. And my mom said, you know what we're going to do about this? And I was like, what are we going to do? Eat salad? She goes, no, we're going to eat pizza right now. And she took me to a pizzeria in Italy on Corso Magenta in Milan. And we used that white paper on that counter to track the rest of my career. And she made a list that said, clients that like ass. And we wrote Sports Illustrated, Victoria's Secret, Pepsi, like Cindy Crawford, all this stuff. Clients that like ass. So she was there for me. And so she's always here. So it's important to find that person in life, where it's a mom, ex-teacher, just somebody in your life that you can call when you're just feeling like so down. And if you don't have it in your life, I highly recommend for you to seek it out. Just ask anybody, everybody, can you mentor me? Can you mentor me? They're all gonna say yeah, and half of them aren't gonna do it. There's gonna be one person that will, and that will be there for you.
Thank you.
Hi, Tyra. Huge fan. I always remember you booking a major modeling job off of your passport photo, and that's kind of been my benchmark for life. So, geek fangirl question, and then a real question. Favorite shoot or runway show to date as a model through your very expansive career?
Couple of them. Let's see. There was a designer called Todd Oldham that back in the day was really big designer. He later became like furniture and accessories designer too, and he used to let us just walk like crazy people. And so it was kind of like drag queen-esque, like walking and blowing kisses and doing all that kind of stuff. And I became so into his show that I started doing that on other runways that weren't Todd Oldham, and it became my style just to kind of go out there. So that when I started doing the Victoria's Secret fashion show, I was the only model that used to walk and wink and wave and clap and snap and point at people and do all this stuff. And now they all do it, and I would like to take credit for that. And also thank Todd Oldham for unleashing that for me to be able to do that.
Awesome. And then quickly, as you've constantly reinvented yourself, you've gone into so many different ventures, you are like the ultra entrepreneur. How do you find the energy and the stamina, especially now that you're a mom, to continue pushing forward with that?
Sacrifice, sacrifice, sacrifice. So the most successful people, if you are not inheriting it, and there's nothing wrong with inheritance, but if you're not inheriting it and you see a lot of successful people, it's because they sacrificed. When I was living in Europe, I didn't come home for my birthday. I didn't come home for Thanksgiving. I came home for Christmas, and that's it. I didn't hang out with my friends. They wanted to go party. I needed to go to sleep to be able to get up in the morning to have that energy. And I have sacrificed since I was 17 years old to be where I am. So it really is about having a goal and trading off all these other things that would be great to do, but it's not in alignment with that goal. However, I was so focused and had a lot of success, but when I was making the most money in my life, and super successful and Time magazine influential and all of this stuff, I was the least happy because I had sacrificed so much. So I think there's a point that needs to come where it's sacrifice, 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 achieve, chill, take time for yourself, go on vacation, and then sacrifice, 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 chill, and I didn't do that. And, but now I do, and now I understand balance, but it did take the sacrifice to get there. So just stop and breathe, and then go back under again.
This is so good. I wish we had 5 hours. I really do, but we have 1 minute. So we have one question, and Tyra, you didn't hear this, but I'm making this so lame. I have to catch a flight, so I don't want to be the rude person to have to wrap this up, but we have one more question. Who's going to be? Make it good. Make it good, girl. Okay.
Hi, Tyra.
Hi.
I have a fashion and lifestyle blog for my main audience is women over 40. They are hardworking moms usually, and a lot of them find themselves giving up on themselves, not have any time for themselves, just basically working and living their lives for other people.
Yep.
So what would be your advice to them, how to bring that colorfulness and
Back to themselves?
their
Yeah.
lives? Yeah.
So first of all, I just want to commend you for your blog and what you're doing, because you see white space. So most blogs are kind of reaching that 23-year-old woman, and it's very saturated. And you found an area that is not clogged. Now I'm bigging it up, and everybody's going to want to blog for 40 people, 40 and up. But first of all, that's just really smart for a demographic. And secondly, I find it in myself a little bit, like sitting on the same spot on my couch in maternity leave right now with York on my lap and binge watching Netflix like crazy. I've had to move to another part of the couch because I'm scared I'm gonna do a permanent dip. And then I realized, wow, I've had these clothes on for 4 days, and I can only imagine what I smell like. Because it's all about him, and the only thing that's for me is Netflix. So I'm realizing that I have to have that balance. And one thing they always say when it comes to whether it's motherhood or being an entrepreneur or just a woman in general, we can't help the world in a great, strong, amazing way unless we do what the airline stewardess or flight attendant says, which is to put our oxygen mask on first. And I realized that. So just the other day, I walked around the corner and got a massage, or doing things for me to keep me strong so that I can be a good boss and a a great mom and a great life partner with my boyfriend. And I'm realizing that. And I think if you tell them, use that oxygen thing, you know, even maybe pull one of those videos, maybe the virgin one, now the oxygen mask on your nose, you know, maybe that one on your blog or something, and talk about that. That could be an interesting, fun way to explain what they need to do.
Thank you so much.
Welcome.
We knew you were going to be good, that you were pretty out of this world. Give it up for Tyra Banks, everybody.
Thank you guys so much.
Honestly, what a pleasure. You are a queen. I want to just bow. I just want to bow down for 2 seconds. You're amazing.
I'll bow to you too.
Better in real life. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Good luck, good luck, good luck. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
Hey guys, thanks for watching and so glad that you're here. You could just take a moment and subscribe to our channel. You can do it by clicking here, over here, over here, or wherever that subscribe button is. Just click it. You'll get everything directly sent to you, first to know of all things Simply Stylist. Thank you so much, and if you don't, this dog is coming after you.